Okay, so what I want to do with this billboard is I want you to, it's got a little funny thing there. That's okay. I want you to make this your own billboard. So um, let's see. Okay, so I guess what I'm going to do is this. If I'm going to, first thing I do is I'm going to go ahead and on my layers here, let's duplicate the layer. So I'll duplicate that. I always like to have that one back there just in case. And I'll lock this one, so that's locked. So I'll turn that off. And so let's just see what would happen if I brought in my logo right now. So let's just say I said uh, import, let's see, or place. All right, I was changing this on me. All right, so there it is, right? So when you bring your logo in, you want to make sure that it is, it's not just a white background or a black background. So there's my logo. Now what I want to do is I want to get rid of this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make a new flat area for it. So let's go ahead and do that here. So rectangle tool. If I right click on it, I can see other options. So let's just say, for example, I'm going to make this rectangle tool, right? And so it's white. What's going on? That's not really what I wanted. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go to what we were doing before with this transform, and I can do this distort. And so I can take these points. This is not ideal because I have these signs if I take the lights, but I want you to then go something like this, where I'm going to go over it rather than try to delete it, right? I'm just going to make my own little billboard and I'm going to cover right over it, right? So there is the billboard, and then I want to be cognizant of the layers. So for example, let's just say I turn this on. So it's asking me, do I want to, is this okay? Yes, this is okay. All right, so there it is. I can easily change the color on this if I wanted to, right? I could do all those fun kind of things now if I want to do that. So you can add color. I'm going very quickly here. So, but the problem is now, like if I try to move my logo on here, it's behind it. So rather, I can, one other thing I can do, I can always, whenever you're stuck and something's not working, you can always cut it and paste it. If you cut it and paste it, it goes to the top layer. But I'm just going to drag my rectangle behind it. And now when I come up here, there it is. All right. So this is okay. But all right, let's just say this is my billboard. What you are required to do is put your logo on and then your company line, right? Whatever that is. So I'm going to what I need you to do is this. So what I would expect you to do in this assignment is I'll go and I'm going to transform this again. So I've got let me select my logo here, file. All right, so transform. Let me scale this up. I'm going to scale this up. What I want to do is keep it proportional, right? So I can hold the Alt key down and then I'll click out of it. Okay, the problem is, everybody can tell what the problem is. Problem is, this is not a perspective, right? So what I'd like you to do then is go to edit, once again, transform, and then I can either do the distort. I recommend you to do the distort, and what I want you to do then is, the quickest way to do it is just line it up with those lines that you see, right? So it's going to be parallel to what you're making, right? So I don't know why I would have my logo this big, but here's my logo. But you can see by doing this distort that it is, and then for example, look at this sign, how this post goes all the way up here. So that's a good clue where this line should be. So I'm gonna kind of bump this over a little bit. So it's something like that, all right? So there's actually, you may not realize this, but there's a vanishing point in this, like probably down by my toes. So there it is. Now what I'd like you to do, pretty easy project. Let's go to the text command. Then I have to type in, let's change the color to maybe, I don't know, whatever it is, maybe blue. I do remember it was Bright Ideas. I don't really care for this anymore. Let's make this a little smaller here. So I'm going up here, my text, we don't want it 200 point. Let's try like 100, see what happens. All right, so Bright. So the challenge for your company is I have not said what my company's name is, which is Bright Eyes. I actually have, I don't know what happened to it, but if you would type in brighteyes.com right now, you would see the font that I didn't come up with at the advertising agency. But let's just go ahead, Bright Eyes, it was Bright Ideas, because I was selling office furniture to Oracle and Yahoo and Porsche dealerships and for your office, right? That's what they came up with. And so then you're going to do something like that. Let's make sure it fits. This is a pretty simple exercise. Michelle, don't get upset if this is too easy, but I want you to spend your all right. So obviously I'm not done here. So let's go ahead and just finish this up. I'm going to go transform, skew, free transform. I think I will go, you're going to play around with this skew. So the nice thing is that's not really what I want. I guess I could rotate it. I don't think it'll let me do the distort. I'd have to save this as like out of Photoshop and come back in. So I could rotate it and distort it that way. All right, let me see what the best way is. Pre-transform. Let's see, I might want to rotate it. But you guys get the idea though. I would hope so. So rotate this. Rotate. All right, so it's not perfect, but let's do that again. Maybe Anthony can tell us how to do it properly, but we're getting close here, all right? So this is essentially it. What I'd like you to do, of course, is if you're doing something like this, I'd like you to make it look nicer, like my logo's too big and I could spend more time with this. Transform, maybe scale this down a little bit. Maybe my logo's too big, so scale this down, hold the Alt key down while I do it. All right, so I still need to clean this up. The perspective is not all the way perfect, but I will do that. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording. This is the gist of your exercise. I'm going to have to spend a little bit more time on this text, but I've got my logo in there that I designed, and then I have my little tagline. And so this is the way that I would like you to present it. One thing that I warned that I'd like you to be aware of is that some students, when they do this exercise, will find like a billboard in a really busy street with all this stuff going on, and it's really hard to see where their logo is and the tagline. So think about this as a presentation. Think of yourself as, in theory, you would develop a logo and a tagline and you're presenting to a client. You want to present it in a way that showcases the logo and the tagline, not some busy street and whatever goofy factor. Think about it as your presentation of your final logo and the tagline. Okay, so let me stop the recording here.